Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you are doing amazing. This video is going to be such a good one and I am so excited for it because this is going to be the start to my lifelong journey, hopefully, of becoming the best version of myself. I've seen countless healthy routine videos. I have thousands and thousands of Pinterest checklists and to-do lists and do this and do that. I've read multiple books on things that need to get done to be able to live a better life, but I never do it. And I'm just like, girl, you know what? This is the time to start making changes. I'll chat with you guys all about where this came from, why I'm doing it, what I'm doing, and how I plan to do it. And most importantly, encourage you to be able to join me on this journey to just do small little things each day that will eventually add on to a improved and better you. So if you would like to see and hear all the good things, and I promise you, it's gonna be a good one, well then you know what to do, just keep on watching. So I don't know about you, but I am a huge Pinterest girly. Like, I have been on Pinterest for the longest, and what I love about the app is that it allows me to save boards and organize things that I would eventually want to do. So I have a ton of recipes and I have a ton of crafts and ideas and all of this good stuff, but that's just the thing. They always just stay ideas. I want to live a healthier lifestyle. I want to dress better. I want to eat better. I want to do this. I want to do that. But the only action that I'm taking is just saving these things for another day. Oh, I should do this. I think this is a great idea. Let me do it next week or the following week, and then we never get to it. But last week, while I was on my baby moon in Mexico, I took with me the Atomic Habits book. Now, I've had this one for a while. Also, once again, I have a ton of books that I purchased to read and then never do it. And I finally started reading the book and I was just like, wow. I've kind of just been thinking about this all the wrong way. And the biggest takeaway so far, I'm not done with the book, but the biggest takeaway so far is instead of focusing on goals, which are short-term and temporary, it's all about your systems, your habits, the process to the goals, those little things that you do each day that contribute to the overall accumulation of improvement throughout your life. And one quote that I saw too, and I don't have the book on me right now, but it goes along the lines of basically habits are an investment into your future. You either do the good or you do the bad, but either way it affects how you become or who you become in the future. So you can't expect change. You can't expect to be someone else if you continuously do the same things. You can't expect to be healthy or in shape if you don't work out and if you don't eat well. You can't expect to dress better, let's say, if you don't take the time to find your style, to find inspiration. So this mindset, although it sounds pretty simple and you're just like, duh, the biggest mind shift is just instead of focusing on the outcome, focus on the process. And he really just went into depth as we always want immediate results. We want overnight results. And when we don't see them, we give up. And I am so guilty for that. I usually set up a goal, and if it doesn't happen or if I missed it, like that's it, that's done, we're over with. I cannot tell you how many times I've tried to be on the fitness journey and like go to the gym and this and that, and I always fall through. And so as I was reading the book, I started to just reflect on my own life, where I am in life right now. If you haven't seen my video, I am currently 25 weeks pregnant. So baby boy is right on in here. And I just thought to myself, I feel like there's no better time than to try and just get myself on track than now. For work, I used to do this and I'm super organized and I'm so successful in that because I'm able to track, write, and do those things that I want to get done. So I'm like, why don't I apply that to my actual life and just be able to get things done so that I can improve the way that I feel, the way that I am, the way that I look, and just overall in general. The two quotes or logos that I have is number one, Nike's logo of just do it. Like seriously, that's really what it comes to me. It's just, girl, just action on what you want to do. You don't need to see the result the same day, but each of those little actions will build up on each other and that shift will come eventually. Don't put a timeline on it, just get things done and just be content and happy with knowing that you got that done. And then the second one that I kind of just put together myself is I want to feel good, I want to look good, and I want to be good. So all of these things that I'll be adding, that I'll be creating, that we'll be talking about fall into one of those categories. So the first step of this entire journey is to step back and acknowledge what are my weaknesses or what are the things that I want to work on. And so I encourage you also to take the time and reflect on what are the things that you might have struggles with that you want to target, that you want to be able to create steps and habits that target that. So for example, for me, a few of the problems or struggles that I have is I'm inconsistent when it comes to new routines or fitness in general. So I'll create something and then I always just end up falling through, whether it's I missed the workout and then now I'm just like, okay, we're screwed, we're done, or I set up a routine that's not realistic. Another thing that I would say is a struggle for me is that I always want to see results now. So when things take a bit of time, I tend to give up easily. Another thing is not reaching my full potential because I'm not exposing myself to enough things to be able to sharpen those skill sets. I could feel better physically, meaning just moving more and eating more. I tend to waste a lot of time when it comes to just scrolling on the phone or watching Netflix, kind of just doing things that are meant to help like relax the mind but are not productive. So I really want to look into new ways to be able to still relax the mind but still be a bit more productive than just kind of scrolling away. I'm a procrastinator. For some things, like some things I'll push off, but then other things, like I'm very determined for stuff. So just definitely wanting to work on that. I am an impulsive shopper. I've gotten so much better though, so that's a good thing. But I just like having new things and I feel like society, social media kind of pushes that on you. So definitely want to work on how to be able to satisfy wanting new things, but not necessarily just purchasing, because a goal is to be able to save. Now, I have a few others, but I'll mention one more. And the last one that I want to do is just waiting to speak, listening to understand, not to just respond. So I highly encourage you, step one, just reflect on what are things that you want to work on for yourself, because the point of this journey is to improve who you are, to become the best version of yourself. And that comes all across the board. If it's physically, if it's mentally, if it's emotionally, writing down what those problems or struggles are is going to then help you find solutions or things to be able to do to work on those. Now, the desired outcomes that I have is just overall, honestly, finding joy in the small things. I tend to find joy or just look forward to the end goal, and that's when I celebrate something. But I really do just want to be able to find joy in the smaller things. And I think that that's why that shift in mindset of instead of focusing on the goal, focus on the process makes you be able to enjoy and know that each of those steps is contributing to something greater. Now, part two of this assessment will be to identify your strengths. Now, we're not just gonna stay with the weaknesses. No, we gotta boost ourselves up and think about some of the strengths. So for me, I have that I'm a fast learner and a fast worker. I literally get things done so quickly. I can be very creative. I love to teach. I'm emotionally intelligent. I can identify and speak through my emotions and communicate with others. I empathize well with others and I can give good advice. I am an extreme planner and organizer, and I love routine. So now it's just putting those routine into actions. And lastly, when I set my mind to do something, I always tend to do it. But I always need to either have a visual way of keeping track of that, because that is what keeps me on board. So Now that we've identified our weaknesses, we've identified our strengths, and we have also been able to identify what our desired outcome would be, now we can target what are the areas that we want to work on and what are the things that we can do. So moving on over, we'll call this step 3, which is the solution part. How can we get to the better version of ourselves? How can I become the best version of myself in these separate categories, doing things weekly or daily? So I broke it down into different categories. You can pick what works for you. For me, I have fitness, I have health, I have work, I have fun, I have knowledge, self-care, home, hair, beauty, faith, and communities. So I have a ton of different categories, and we're not gonna be doing all of them in 1 week or anything like that. That's what I used to try and do before, like, oh, let me try and do one of each, and it was just too much. So now what I wanna be able to do is just create tasks that we will try and target daily and then weekly ones. So I created a whole template over on Canva. If you don't know about Canva, I would highly recommend it. It is a free app that you can use to be able to pretty much like create anything. That's what I use for my thumbnails. I use it as planners, all of that good stuff. But for the purpose of this video, I want to create my to-do list of things that will help me in my everyday routine as well as in my weekly routine. So for starters, the non-negotiables that I would say for sure that are daily is health and fitness. So here I have just a few things that I want to be able to add. Starting off with fitness, I have quite a few different tasks that I would love to be able to achieve that I know would help in the long run. And just to start off is just to be able to move the body. So I typically try to go out for a walk each and every single day, but I do want to incorporate strength training. So I ideally would love to be able to do at least 3 workouts a day. So I'm putting that on my list of things that I aim to do. I can do yoga or Pilates or stretching, anything like that. The whole point is just to get the body moving. Working here at home remotely can make it super easy to just be sitting down all day, and then once you're done, you're just like mentally drained, so you just lay down. And also on top of that, being pregnant as well. So I really want to just focus on making sure that we're moving the body. In conjunction to that category, we have health, and a huge one is just drinking water. You would think that that's like such a simple one, but I don't know why, but I just don't drink enough water. So I actually purchased this not too long ago in Marshall's, I would say maybe about a month or so ago. And this has been game changer. Everyone's always talking about like the Stanley ones. It literally does the same thing, but it is such a game changer for drinking enough water. I go through at least like 2 of these a day. So I'm aiming for maybe 3. I think this is like 40 ounces, I believe it is. So just making sure to stay hydrated, and it literally makes such a difference in how I feel. So that's a big one. Eating more veggies. I am definitely guilty of not eating enough veggies, and I honestly don't even know why, because I like how it tastes. It's not even like I don't like how it tastes. So one thing that I've been exercising and that I want to put into practice is drinking my green juice. I was in Mexico and they had different types of like veggie and green juices, and I loved it. I was like, oh my God, this is the best tasting juice I've ever had. So I came back, I purchased a juicer, and that's definitely on my to-do list, to just have a little shot of green juice, my water, first thing in the morning. A big one is to cut sugar. So we're not cutting sugar completely, but just like cutting down the levels of sugar, first of all, to make sure that we have a safe and healthy pregnancy. But overall, sugars is just not good for you. So I'm just being very mindful in how I do that. So that's definitely one of the biggest things that I want to do. And then there's other little categories that we'll be putting in throughout the weeks. The plan with this is to make weekly vlogs where you and I are both targeting those tasks, checking them off our to-do list week by week. And the point is that 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, we're able to see the results and feel happy in knowing that we finally took action into becoming the best version of ourselves. So once again, moving into the next category, I have work. And by work, I mean this, my YouTube. I have a website. I haven't spoken about it here, but I have an entire website, a blog on sharing all things beauty and fashion and lifestyle. I love to find and look for new pieces and source items and all of that good stuff. So I have a ton of content ideas that I want to post, but once again, it's just getting myself to do it. So I want to dedicate weekly time to just setting that apart, writing, sharing, researching, doing the things that I love. Next, we have the category that I will call knowledge. And this is where research, reading, exploring, learning new words, all of these things fall into play. So for 1 week, let's say we'll pick reading a book, and the other, it can be learning a new word, learning a new language, studying some geography, studying some history, just becoming knowledgeable overall, to just be able to have deeper connections with people, better understanding of what's happening in different places, and overall just become more intellectual. Another super important one is self-care, and that's the one that I've been loving seeing the videos on here on YouTube of like healthy morning routines and self-care morning routines. Definitely want to put into play reflections, just reflecting on where I am in life, what my goals are, of what are the things that I want to achieve and how I can achieve that. Definitely also a huge coffee girl. So for me, self-care is going to Starbucks, getting my coffee, stopping in a mall or some of my favorite stores, browsing for anything that might catch my eye, spending time alone in that aspect for myself. Another huge one that I want to be able to incorporate one, and I feel like this one might be one of the more challenging ones, but I really want to hold myself accountable to that, is getting ready in the morning. Like, we're talking, I work from home, so it's very simple and easy to kind of just like stay in your pajamas or cozy clothes and not really get ready. But I really do want to practice that, getting ready in the morning as if you were to go out. It is said to help the mindset and just shift your perspective into getting things done. So I really do want to practice that. For home, I have little things such as like tidying up, whether that's like 15 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day, just to avoid overall messes, and making sure to always make the bed and to just organize things and declutter around the house. Hair and beauty, we have our hair mask day and our face mask day. I always forget to do those, so just dedicating time to that. Nail and hair day. Now, a big one too that I have is faith. I definitely want to dedicate more time into reading my Bible and into prayer. So I want to be able to build a routine that establishes that. I want to be able to do that first thing in the morning, get on my knees, talk to the good Lord, pray, do Bible studies and good things like that. So I'm really just expanding on different ways, looking for Bible study ideas and all of that, to be able to really take this to the next step and really be able to dedicate time to Him. And lastly, I have community, and that includes family, relationship, friends, all of that good stuff. So I know that I have shared a lot, but I encourage you with just this video, start off by pointing out what those weaknesses are. What are the things that you want to target? What are the things that are stopping you from becoming your best self? Is it that you haven't started this? Is it that you know what you need to do, but you haven't actioned it? What is it that's stopping you from being who you are? And then also point out, what are you good at? What do you enjoy? What are the things that bring you joy? And then the last thing is, what are the desired solutions that you want to be able to achieve, to then be able to create that process, to create those small little habits that you and I will do together every single day that will contribute to the improved versions of ourselves. I know that for me, this is super important right now, because I know that when a baby comes, routine will probably fly out of the window, but a big part is I really don't want to lose who I am before becoming a mother. So I find that this is the perfect time to just be able to do all of those little things that I wanted to do. Cook that recipe that I have, do that fall checklist that I have saved on Pinterest, read that book that I bought 3 years ago. Things like that to just be able to do, to keep the mind active, improve who I am, to feel good, to be good, and to look good. So I encourage you to join me in this process. I'll be putting weekly videos, kind of just like showing you what the checklist is for that week, if and when we accomplish it, and then be able to just kind of do like a little update of how we're feeling, is this working, and where we are at that given week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching me, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Talk to you in the next one. Bye.